If you are running Ollama on your personal machine, then you are missing out on something really great, turning it into an AI server that can be accessed from anywhere. In this video, I will guide you through a very simple way to do this using Open WebUI, and you can apply it right after watching. In the previous video, we had a ready Ollama server running offline. Now I will guide you on how to access it remotely. First, open Command Prompt. Next, make sure that Python and pip are installed on your system. You can check this by typing Python version and pip version in the command prompt. If everything is ready, we will proceed to install Open WebUI via pip. This is a user-friendly interface that allows you to easily interact with the Ollama server remotely. Its interface is quite similar to ChatGPT, Gemini, and Grok, so you will get used to it quickly. Pip will automatically download and install all the necessary libraries for Open WebUI. This step may take a few minutes, depending on your internet speed and machine configuration. If you see a message saying, "Successfully," that means the installation process is complete and you can start using Open WebUI right now. Once the installation is complete, please copy and execute this command to launch Open WebUI. This command will launch Open WebUI for the first time and automatically set up the necessary components on your machine. This process may take a little time, so just wait until it's complete. Once it has started, you will see a message like that, which means you can access Ollama through OpenWeb directly on your server. Now, open your web browser and access localhost through port 8080. On the first screen, click on Get Started to begin the interaction with the Ollama server. Next, you need to create an account by entering your name, email, and password that you want to use to manage Open WebUI. Then click on Create Admin Account to complete the admin account setup. Immediately, you will be taken to the interface, and you'll find it quite similar to other AI interfaces like ChatGPT or Gemini, right? Here, if your Ollama has multiple AI models, you can easily switch and use them flexibly right within this interface. If you don't see the models appearing here, click on your profile in the bottom left corner to check. Next, click on Settings, and then click on Admin Settings to open the Configuration settings. Next, click on the Connections tab to configure connections. Here, you can check if the Ollama server information is correct. Typically, it connects via localhost on port 11,434 as shown to it. If it's not there, click on this Configure icon to declare the Ollama server information. Here, if there is no information, you just need to enter the information as follows and then click Save to save the configuration. At this point, we have successfully installed Open WebUI and connected to Ollama. However, we can only access the WebUI from the server itself. To access from any other device, first, stop the running process by pressing Ctrl+C. Then, copy and execute the command that I have prepared here. This command will change the default configuration of Ollama, allowing it to accept connections from outside, no longer limited to localhost. This is an important step for you to access remotely. If you see a success message like this, it means you are good to go, and this command only needs to be executed once for completion. Then, close the current command prompt window and reopen it to apply the command. Next, execute the following command to start Open WebUI and allow access from any device on your network. After running the command, the system will start initializing and setting up. This process may take a little time, so just wait until it's finished. When you see the screen displayed like this, it means Open WebUI is ready, and you can access Ollama from other devices. Now, let's check your server's IP address. This is my server's IP address, and it will be different from yours. Now, I will switch to another machine to check the results. Next, in the address bar, access the IP address of the Ollama server through port 3000. If successful, you will see the login interface of Open Web like this. Now please enter the email and password you created earlier to log in. That's it. You've successfully accessed Open WebUI and can now easily use Ollama remotely. If you cannot access Open WebUI remotely, please return to the Ollama server and we will check and configure the firewall to ensure all ports are functioning correctly. First, access the firewall settings in the control panel to check the current configuration. In this example, my firewall is turned off. If you cannot access the Open WebUI remotely, it's likely that your computer has the firewall enabled. If the firewall is enabled, you need to configure it to open the ports that allow remote access to Ollama and Open WebUI. Here, you need to create a rule for inbound rules to allow remote connections to your server. Next, on the Rule Type screen, please select Port. Next, enter the two ports, 3000 for Open WebUI and port 11434 for Ollama. Next, select Allow the connection, as this will permit all connections sent to the ports you just opened. Finally, give your rule a memorable name for easy identification later. That's it. After setting up the firewall, try accessing it again to see the server Ollama work remotely. Next, there's a small issue. Every time you want to access remotely, you'll have to run the command to start Open WebUI again. Doing this manually can be quite time-consuming. Therefore, I'll create a script file to automate this step, allowing you to just double-click to run it. First, we need to find the path to Open WebUI in order to automate the startup process. Please use the command to identify the location of Open WebUI. The command will return the executable path, so make sure to copy the path from the result. Then, replace your path in this content to create the script file that corresponds to the location of Open WebUI. Next, save this content as a new file with a .bat extension for easier execution when you need to start Open WebUI. When saving, make sure to name the file with the .bat extension and select All Files in the Save as Type dropdown. From now on, you just need to execute this file to quickly start Open WebUI without having to perform each step manually. I hope this video will be helpful for you in accessing the Ollama server remotely. If you find this information useful, please subscribe to support my channel. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.